you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things life, love, spirituality, law of attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. I'm an intuitive reader, a manifesting coach, a Reiki practitioner, and a life path guide and mentor here to help you along your awakening journey so that you can co-create the life of your dreams. And when we are co-creating and when we're manifesting, we sometimes bump into challenges, right? Or we might have somebody in our life that is getting underneath our skin. And when we're creating, we want to feel good. We want to be high vibrational. We don't want to be triggered, right? So the manifestation journey is a constant letting go of what doesn't serve us. And a lot of times that's certain relationships. And in this video, I'm sure you saw by the title that the impossible relationships in your life can be mended, can be healed. You can create that change yourself. And this is what I teach in my community called Awaken Your Magic. This is what I do in my readings and my one-on-one coaching sessions, my 8-week mentorship. I am dedicated to teaching people, especially women, that we can change the dynamic of any relationship, but we have to do the work first on ourselves. We have to change our consciousness to see it differently. We have to go back and revise the pain that somebody might have caused us and see why they did it, understand it, and then rewire it and say, I don't want to take this pain with me anymore. I don't want to hold on to this story that, woe is me, this happened to me. Yes, it happened to me. I took a lesson from it. I'm moving forward with it. And now I want it to be possible for me to feel kindness for this person, to feel compassion, to be in the same room with them, to be able to call them and say, I love you and actually mean it. And that's what I want to teach here, because I believe as humans, we are all here to go through the challenge, to mend it, to forgive it, to find compassion, and then to move forward in unconditional love. So I'm 41 years old, and this is what this video is going to be about, is my story. I'm 41 years old, and not until about I was 35, 36 did I actually fully feel true love for my mom. And the other day I was in her house and we were watching TV together, and if you would have told me 5 or 6 years ago that I'd be doing this, I would have been like, you're crazy, you're bonkers, not going to happen. This relationship will never change. Well, I was in her brand new house with her. She just moved, spending time with her. I had to go to the bathroom and cry because the emotion that I felt and the gratitude and the appreciation, and I couldn't believe. And I just couldn't believe. I was just going to say, I'm going to cry saying this, but it's natural. It's okay. My whole life, I hated my mom. She was the villain in my story. And here I am crying in the bathroom because I don't want her to know that I'm crying, because I'm so happy that we mended it. And I'm so happy that I did the work to really love her. I found a spot. I found a spot so deep in my heart to be able to see all the pain I endured, to see why it happened. And this isn't the pain surfacing. This is literally how much love I have for her. And the thought of something bad happening to her really hurts me now, where before I was numb, I was disconnected. And now I'm like, I can't believe it. I was sitting in her bathroom, staring at myself in the mirror, crying, going, this feels so good right now. And I don't want this to end. It feels so good. And then 2 days later, she sent me a text, and it just said a cute little a picture that said, have a nice day, thinking about you. And my whole life, I always wanted that kind of love from a mom, and now I have it. I'm so scared to lose it. But I just want you guys to know that it's possible. You can have somebody in your life that was so incredibly mean or abusive or narcissistic, and it is possible to change that dynamic. I'm telling you, I had the worst negative thoughts about my mom about 5 or 6 years ago. I was completely disconnected, didn't want anything to do with her, right? But she didn't know all of this. I kind of played it off, but I just was so angry, and I had so much inside of me that I needed to release. And when I went on my healing journey and I spiritually awakened in 2018, everything surfaced. All the memories, all the pain, all the awareness around my parents and why they were the way they were and why they are the way they are. And the awareness is what healed me, is me expanding my consciousness to see why human beings do what they do, not just my parents, all people. Why do people do awful things? It's because they're all in pain. They're all wounded. They're all looking for love. And the more we can see that, the more we can come from love in us, then other people respond to our loving nature. So, what I did was every month I dove into what was coming up for me. What was I being triggered by in regards to my mom? I would go see my mentor. We would talk it out, maybe do a Reiki session, maybe do some nervous system work. I just was devoted, committed. I just wanted to heal this. I didn't want to feel this way about somebody who I'm supposed to love. And everyone says, you don't have to love your family, you can have a family that's not your family, but I see it as my soul chose my mom. Why would I choose her? I wouldn't choose her just to walk away and to throw anger and hate and all this stuff at her. My soul chose that experience. So I see it as let's sit in it, let's lean into it and heal it. And me in her bathroom the other night crying, that was my soul saying, you did it, Michelle. You did it. You did it. You did what your soul came here to do. You forgave. You found compassion. You found joy. You're literally really feeling love for this human who you resisted for 35 years. I'm telling you guys, if you were to ask my high school friends, my college friends, my siblings, oh, mom and Michelle don't get along. Mom and Michelle don't get along. Everybody knew it. I was so resistant, and rightfully so. And she would always ask me, why do you hate me? And meanwhile, I'm like, but that's just the typical dynamic that we have here. This is life. We choose these experiences. So, whatever you're experiencing, I'm not saying you have to do anything. I'm speaking to the people who are watching this right now who want to mend something, who want to do what their soul came here to do, which is to learn the lessons and to sit in it and to not run away from your family members that you chose. Be there, do the best that you can, but do it to free up yourself. Okay. I was doing the work every single month with my mentor to free myself. I was not doing it for anybody else. I wanted to live in this body and not feel anger, pain, grief. Okay. Yes, we are going to feel it. It's never going to be gone forever. But how did I get to a space where I was crying with joy with my mom? How do we get there? It is possible. Okay. So your situation can change. And if you need help, you can work with me. I can teach you what I did. But it is literally, you guys, I felt like I just wanted to exit the planet and be like, done, mission completed. That's how good it felt. I really just can't even tell you. It was better than money. It was better than food. It was better than anything else. I just was like, this is what we're here to do. We're here to love people when we think we can't love them. And I believe that that's like what God really wants us to do. God really wants us to look at these broken relationships and do our best to show up every day to be better, to make it better for us, right? So God and the universe, they're experiencing life through us. If you think about it like puppets, this is how I like to see it. There's this big ball of energy in the sky, which is the universe, right? And there's all these little light beams that come off. And at the end of each light beam are our human bodies. And we're on planet Earth, and they're kind of using us all like puppets. And when we jump into these bodies, we have pain and suffering. So that light that's within us is trying to come through us and say, hey, you're not that pain and you're not that suffering. Push that out. And that's what healing is. We're pushing out that darkness, and the light then can shine through us and can love people no matter what they've done. And we really get to a God space. I call it a God space because you're just like, wow, I can find compassion for that person when they just stole something from that person. You just see it differently. You see it a big picture of just like, man, they must be really hurting if they're in that space, or they must be in a really low spot in their life if they're doing this, or they're just completely unconscious and they're so filled with trauma that they just want to hurt everybody because they're hurting so much. And that God energy pushes through us and helps us see through a different lens. And I believe that we are all capable of doing that. And every relationship that you're experiencing right now in your life that feels icky, it feels hard, I invite you to go to the God space. How would God see it? How would the universe see it? Your heart really wants to see everything with love and compassion, but the mind gets in the way. And for me, and for what I teach, is I teach you how to drop out of the mind and into the body and into the heart, and then to heal and release all of that pain and anger. I had so much pain. I had so much anger about everything in my life, all the bad things that happened. And now it's not there anymore. And I can teach you how to get there. Okay. It is possible. I really wish I could show you a movie right now of my old thought process and my old way of being and how I spoke to my friends about my family and how I would lie and I would change stories to make other people seem worse than they really were because I wanted to win. I wanted to be the victim. I wanted everyone to feel sorry for me. And now my consciousness is just, that doesn't exist in here anymore. I am literally that light energy pushing out so much peace and love and compassion and forgiveness. And I know people look at me and they're like, Michelle's crazy. How can she just forgive that? I can't believe that. And I know that they're just not there yet. Their pain is talking. That's not really their soul. God would never say that, right? But people wonder, well, how do you get to that space? And I'm saying it's possible. So please come join my community. If you want to learn about this, book a session with me. You are capable of doing the impossible. Everything comes from our consciousness. It's how we see it, how we feel it, how we get rid of it, how we let go of what's no longer serving us. But it's diligent. You have to be able to show up every single week, every single month, be willing to look at yourself and say, what's coming up for me? What's triggering me? I don't want this for myself. I want to change this for me. It wasn't about my mom. It wasn't about everybody else. It was about me finding freedom within me to be able to take care of my mom when she was diagnosed with cancer last year. And she's healthy now, which is great, but that was a challenge, right? I am now taking care of her, and we had to coexist in all these different environments. And I was able to be loving, and I was able to see her fear of dying and her fear of cancer. And I was able to comfort her and hug her and say, you're going to be okay. We're just getting that energy out. We're going to have surgery. We're going to remove that old energy. You're going to be brand new. I was like, Mom, this could be, in the breast area is your heart chakra. I was like, this could be a heartbreak from college, from high school, anybody that's ever broken your heart. Just think about God's removing that energy. We're getting that energy out. So I was able to offer her such warm and comforting advice where the old Michelle would have just been like, I can't believe I'm here taking care of her. She didn't do anything for me my whole childhood, blah, 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 which was all my wounding. My mom was there for me, just not in the way that I needed her, but she was doing the best that she could with what she had. And that's the awareness that I was talking about that we have to understand. Everybody's doing the best they can with a level of consciousness that they're at. And I can't sit here as an adult and wish I could change that version of my mom back then and be like, I wish she was awakened. I can't do that. I chose her to not be awakened, to then teach me how to love, which was, by seeing maybe what not to do or see how I could do things differently. So keep that in mind when you're reevaluating your situations. People are doing the best they can. And that's another reason why we can find forgiveness and compassion. So if you want to learn more about how to make the impossible possible, book a session with me, join my community called Awaken Your Magic. We are all about healing, growing, and manifesting the life of our dreams over there. And it starts within. We have to change how we feel internally so we're not triggered. We can handle any ex, any past situation, any tough relationship with a mother-in-law or a father-in-law or whoever it is. That's what we do in there. We do the work. So if you feel called, click the link below. It's in the comments and in the description. I'd love to see you in there. All right, lovies, thank you so much for watching. I know this video is a little different from what I normally do, but I just wanted to share that things that you think are impossible are possible. And for me, that was the greatest feeling on the planet, in that bathroom, crying about how much love I have for this human who I never thought I could love. And that's why we're here. So I wanted to share it because I want to inspire all of you to get to that space too. And you're in charge of it. You're not a victim. We all chose it, to overcome it, to climb the mountain, to be on top of the mountain and say, I did it. I did it. And I will be there to high five you when you do it too, because I believe in you and I know that you can do it. All right, lovies, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and I will see you in the next one. All right, peace out.